The year is 930 Dragon, and in the country of Ferelden, the threat of a new blight emerges. We all know the tale of the hero of Ferelden, but what about others who survived the Battle of Ostagar? What of their stories? This is the tale of three souls unfortunate enough to have been at that fateful battle. History may not remember their deeds, but they still left their mark on the world. This is the tale of the lost legends of Lothering. Lucas Kuzlin is a human noble born in Highever and is the nephew of Bryce Kuzlin, who is the current turn of the area. Like many in the Kuzlin line, he was trained from an early age in the areas of combat and diplomacy, groomed to set an example as a Ferelden noble. However, at a young age, he began to show signs of magic and had great difficulty controlling his abilities. His parents were terrified that he would have been sent to the circle at Lake Calenhad. Doing his best to control his powers, he threw himself even harder into his training and study, courageously pushing himself as his fears mounted ever higher until one fateful night. In his sleep, he was visited by a spirit of valor who he had caught the attention of, and after a lengthy conversation, the two came to an agreement. When Lucas awoke, he no longer had to fear his powers, for he was no longer alone. Valor was with him, and they were one. When talk of a blight began to spread throughout the Ferelden lands, he joined his family's army and now rides to the ruin of Ostagar with his cousin Fergus Kuzlin, ready to stop the Darkspawn horde. Atherion is a Dalish elf and was the first to his clan's keeper, being taught about his people's culture and heritage from a young age. He spent many years studying and preparing to lead the clan when their keeper passed on, so that he may continue to keep them safe. This would not come to pass, as when the clan sought shelter while moving locations during a harsh storm, they temporarily set up camp near a cliff face, not aware of the deep road's entrance close by. In the night, they were assaulted by Darkspawn, and the clan was slaughtered. Atherion was only able to escape thanks to his keeper's valiant sacrifice. Atherion wandered alone for weeks, starving, broken, destroyed, before being found by a clan of Chastened, who took him in after a few days in their company. Atherion spent the rest of his life with the Chastened, learning their ways whilst teaching them about the Dalish and his heritage. When the Chastened encountered Darkspawn scouts, they were able to fend them off, but grew worried about the implications. After learning of the approaching blight, the clan made their way to join the Ferelden army at the ruins of Ostagar, with Atherion in tow, ready to avenge his fallen clan. Kalia Galain, or Callie as her mother calls her, is a dwarf born in the city of Orzammar and who spent her early life as a child of a caste family. Her youth was spent exploring the city with her best friend, a nug that her father bought for her named Vinny, who was never far from the young girl. After an internal disagreement between her father and other members of the caste, he was forced to join the Legion of the Dead to spare his wife and daughter the fate of living as casteless for the remainder of their lives. The last time Kalia saw her father, he was being led into the deep roads with other legionnaires. She left the city of Orzammar with her mother shortly after and spent a few years traveling around before settling in the small town of Lothering. Many years later, she came to know the town as her home, so when the Ferelden army, led by King Cailan Theron, passed through Lothering with talk of a blight, she couldn't just sit by and do nothing. Now, with her trusty partner Vinny, she marches towards Ostagar, ready to fight for her home.